Hi everyone, it's Sid Grosvenor, your Lake Chapala information guy and buyers only exclusive realtor. And today we're going to have a real treat for you guys. I'm going to be interviewing Michael J. Haskett, who's sort of new to the area and brought his family down. And he's the new entrepreneur in the area, and he has Vita Alarms, and they do alarms and a lot of other neat stuff and medical safety issues. So I'm going to let him introduce himself. Michael, say hello to everyone and tell them a little bit about your background.
Good afternoon, everybody. Michael Haskett's my name, and I'm from Canada. We've been down about 3 years in Mexico. Made the trip, as a lot of people have, with the trailer and the truck and the
Right.
2 kids, 2 dogs, 2 cats, so it was quite an eventful trip.
Yeah, you sound like a regular family.
We are a regular family, yeah. Took us 6 days to get down, and we saw some of the sights through America and into Mexico on our way down, so it was quite a trip.
Right.
Yeah.
And how did you get started with Vita Alarms?
Well, we've always been in business in our family. My father started businesses a long time ago, and I've been working with him on and off throughout the years. And when we came to Mexico, it was always a goal to start a business in Mexico. We've looked at alarm systems for many years, and this was an opportunity for us to get into this field.
Right. What I know one people always think about price, Michael. And I know it's hard to say, but a typical house here, you know, most of them are 2 bedroom, 2 bath, maybe a couple thousand square feet or less. What would they expect to spend for a decent alarm system?
We have a standard package which runs about 10 to 11,000 pesos a year.
Okay.
They can go down a little bit and they can go up a little bit from there, but in that range.
So that would be using whatever the exchange rate was, and of course you're Canadian and you guys dollars go a little further, I think, here than American dollars.
It goes up and down like the US dollar.
Right.
We're talking probably in the neighborhood of $50 or $60 a month for a full system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what would that include? Monitoring and what else? Monitoring
the equipment. We have a 24/7 bilingual service. Probably our biggest claim to fame here is that our operators are all bilingual, fully bilingual, so that if you don't speak clear and fluent Spanish, then when you press the button and you have an operator come onto the system, they can speak to you in English and then translate for the Red Cross or for the doctor or for the police department.
Right. Okay.
So it's a unique service in Mexico. There's nobody else doing that. We are the original company here, and our plans are to franchise throughout Mexico over the next 3 to 4 years.
Great, great. Yeah. Well, you're hit the ground running. I know that. I see your ads, and I know you've put in a number of. How many alarms have you put in the area, more or less?
Oh, we've been just operating under a year now, and we're well above the 100 mark for our customers. So we're doing really well. It's done real well. As a matter of fact, I was in Guadalajara last weekend, and we're now looking at expanding as our first city into Guadalajara. So we've got
good that you're reaching out, and with your bilingual staff, you can of course accommodate the Mexican nationals as well as we gringos.
The people in Guadalajara that are looking to get started there are actually locals, and they speak Spanish and English, but they'll be going after the local Mexican market.
Most of the professional types I've discovered, doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs, and big and business entrepreneur types are bilingual. You know, we're kind of pretty much monolingual in the States. Of course, I learned a little bit of Spanish growing up in Texas, all the bad words.
Yes, exactly. No, a lot of the people we're dealing with, the professionals, certainly are bilingual.
Right, yeah. Right. And I know you also, one of the services you have it would be very helpful for as people age here. And I have a friend that's fallen down a couple of times, and can you tell us something about how that part of your system works?
Certainly. Our beginning service was for medical. So if you fall and help by falling, I can't get up. The old systems that everybody knows about in States and Canada. When we looked at the Mexican market, we realized there was no 911 service here.
Right.
So we've basically taken our service and made it into your personal own 911 service. You need assistance, you press the button. Within 30 seconds, we have a voice communication system where you can speak to our live operator, bilingual, and get the service and the attention that you require right away.
And they would call the cruiser line, the Red Cross, or your family member, or whatever, your neighbor.
Your neighbor, your doctor, the Red Cross, the fire department, the police department, whoever, and whoever, yeah, we call lots of people.
Do you respond to, you have a service that responds to alarms, actually sends a car out and checks, or I always found that pretty much useless.
Yeah, no, we don't. The idea there is that if you're too far from the office, or if the car is too far from your home at that point, so no, we use the other available services. The Red Cross here is excellent.
Yes, they are.
Excellent.
I agree.
Yeah,
and the police service, I was a policeman in Dallas for 35 years, and it's basically, people poo-poo the police in the area because they think they don't take reports. Well, they're just a patrol service. They're not really an investigative service.
Right.
So if the bad guy's gone, they tell you to go to the procurador the next day, and you spend all day making a report to them.
That's correct.
Now, if you don't have any information other than they took my stuff, you might as well not do it.
No, our service is based on getting help there as fast as we can, with the idea being that 86% of burglars will leave as soon as they hear some threat of a police officer or somebody coming from next door.
Exactly.
So that's our goal.
And the police, as far as I can tell, their response time is excellent. Up in Dallas, we used to struggle to get 7 or 8 minutes. A big city, lots of calls every night, and we've had to call the police a couple times. See somebody. My wife caught the neighbor's tenant going over the wall. She thought he was a bad guy, and they were there in like 3 minutes. Of course, we worked it out, and they knew it was as a good guy climbing the wall. He'd locked himself out and he had to climb the wall to get in. But they were there in 3 minutes, and that's been my experience here, 3 to 5 minutes. So that's really good response time. So it doesn't make sense for you guys to provide that service when the real police can provide it instantly as soon as you call.
Not at all. Our average response time for the Red Cross is in the neighborhood of 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's from the second that somebody presses their button.
Mm-hmm.
We've had response from the Red Cross in as low as 3 minutes,
mm-hmm.
depending on the location in the ambulance. But it's very fast. I mean, it's very comparable to north of the border. We had one lady. I guess I can give you a really good story. Lady had our system for about 3 months. She was a young lady by herself, and she had been out on Saturday and doing her shopping and her errands and whatnot. She came home about 7 o'clock Saturday afternoon, and she was unloading her car, and she slipped and fell. It was just an accident.
Right.
It wasn't age. It wasn't because she had any.
Any of us could have done the same thing.
Anybody could have done it. She fell, and on the way down, she cracked her head right on the top onto a piece of concrete. So she was lying on the floor, bleeding profusely, and she pressed the button. Well, within 30 seconds, our operator came on and spoke to her, calmed her down, called the Red Cross, called the neighbor. They all arrived. They collected her, took her to the Red Cross, sewed up her head. The neighbors brought her home. Hour and a half later, she's lying in bed, recuperating. Very, very, very sore, but recuperating. Well, she came into the office about 2 weeks later when she was up and mobile again. She came up to my desk, and we had a chat, and she started to tell me the story, and she started to cry. And of course, I got very emotional, and I got up and gave her a hug, and she said to me, if she hadn't had Vita's service, she would have died.
Wow.
Right from her mouth, that's what she said. And what happened was, after she pressed the button, she was lying on the ground, and she was bleeding profusely, but she actually passed out. And that would have been the end of the situation.
And a lot of people would have walked. I don't know about Mexico. I'd like to think they wouldn't, but in general, people don't want to get involved, and they just, they may have called somebody, but there's no substitute for having instant communication right there on your person.
Yeah, no, we're very fortunate in our business that we get to save people. I mean, that's one of the nice things about our business. We're actually providing a service where people are saving, having their lives saved.
It makes you feel good about what you do.
It certainly does.
Right.
It's one of the nice benefits of our service.
Well, tell people now. We've told them. Now we're going to tell them what we told them. Let's tell them how to get a hold of you here. What's the best way? Your email address and website and telephone and that kind of thing.
You bet. Come on into the office. If you're local, you'll know the Nuevo Posado. It's right across the street from us, so we're right across the street from them. Phone number 766-3500, and our website is vidaalarms.com.
I'll give that again.
VIDA-alarms.com. We have a full English site and a full Spanish site as well, so people can come on and get both of them.
And give the phone number again. If they were calling from North America, they dial 001 and then
52-376-766-3500. Our email is on our website. Basically, it's sales or Michael at vidaalarms.com. Very straightforward.
Well, very good. Michael, any final thoughts for everyone before we close out?
I know there's a lot of conversation lately about the security issues and,
Right.
and the problem with some of the local events. And what I can tell people is that over the last month or so, when I've been going out to people's homes, everybody's calmed down, everybody's much more relaxed, everybody's going about their daily lives, and everybody's enjoying the local community, the local people, the local environment. And I think a lot of the hype has passed, and I think people are back to living their good, normal life down here. And if you're thinking of coming and you're not here, all I can say is we enjoy it, and I don't know why anyone else wouldn't come down.
Well, I'll add just a little bit of that, a little tag on here for everyone. You know, all three of the major political candidates for president here in Mexico, we're going to have a vote in just a few days, but all three of them have stressed that they're going to kind of backpedal a little bit on the war directly head-to-head with the cartels, and they're going to focus more on prevention and a lot of other good things, but they're going to put more of their focus on that. And you know, I sort of understand that, because they're unfortunate for the Mexican people. They live right next to the largest drug-consuming country in the world, and 50+ thousand Mexicans have died, and we had the one border patrol agent. That was a horrible thing, but so far no North Americans have lost their lives in Mexico as a result of unless they were, you know, involved in the drug trade. No innocent people, let's put it that way. And in the Lake Chapala area, that's been 10 years, 3 murders, and there's 25,000 of us, and that's better crime statistics than Houston, Texas.
Yes.
So you're safer here at Lake Chapala than you are in Houston, Texas, if you believe the statistics. So, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't have alarms. Some DETA alarms, everyone. So I guess it's extra precaution, extra nice to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, thanks again for taking your time out of your day to share your new business with everyone. And everyone, remember, if you don't get a hold of Michael or figure out that, give me a call. Or send me an email, and I'll get Michael on the horn with you. That's Sid at Chapala, CHAPALA club.com. Sid at ChapalaClub.com. Okay, Michael, say goodbye to everybody.
See you, folks.
Hasta luego.
Adios.
Sure.